Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Mrteamguy with another episode of Gaming Spotlight. Today I want to talk about a space strategy RPG called Space Pirates and Zombies 2. It was developed and published by MinMax Games Ltd on November 7th, 2017. Space Pirates and Zombies 2 is a hybrid 3D space simulation cross of a real-time strategy game, developed by the company MinMax Games with emphasis on combat mechanics and customization. In Space Pirates and Zombies 2, you must survive an evolving post-apocalyptic galaxy. Explore a persistent living galaxy populated by 200 unique captains that can do everything you can do. Survive a zombie infection and then fight them back. Make allies and start your own faction. Build your empire. And this game also includes Sandbox Mode. To briefly summarize the game world's history, humanity discovered a new element, res, which allows cool stuff such as interstellar travel. Humanity expanded rapidly, eventually encountering the Dark Entity and its weird biotech infection that turned humans into cyber zombies. Things looked bleak for humanity until a heroic crew of space pirates managed to destroy the Dark Entity, saving the galaxy but removing humanity's only reliable source of res. Now, with a warp gate network destroyed and dwindling supplies of res used to fuel portable gem drives, humanity is once again its own worst enemy. And now we got starship captains fighting each other, preying on the weak and stealing what they can. The campaign is rather short with a simple and predictable plot. If you played the first part, you will know what is coming for you. It also lacks the humoring side quests, which the predecessor offered. However, I have enjoyed most of the characters presented. The characters on your ship are cliched, but that is actually very intentional and adds to the feel of a game. There is a fair-sized collection of voice samples used for when you greet the colorful captains and bandits of this universe, all of whom are forging alliances and expanding their own agendas just like the player, which further enhances the experience. At high level, the game is split into two modes, tactical management and real-time combat. If my experience is anything to go by, you'll spend most of your time in a tactical mode. The tactical mode gives you all sorts of management style UI icons around the screen edges, overlaid on a big map of a procedurally generated galaxy. From here you control your starship, moving around the galaxy and encountering other vessels, star bases and various resource-based nodes, both on often endlessly recycling supplies of scrap, grunts and the valuable res. The game is effectively paused when your ship is not moving, giving you time to manage everything without risk of interference. And by that I mean trade with bases and other captains, modify or completely rebuild your ship, build new short-range fighters, engage in space pirate style diplomacy, or just check information available on the game world and its inhabitants. In contrast, combat mode is all action from the get-go. Initially I found the battles a bit confusing. Combat in space should allow movement in 3 dimensions. Instead, Space Pirates and Zombies 2 combat is played on a 2-dimensional plane. You can accelerate or decelerate forward, reverse and turn left and right. In keeping with the pirate theme, it plays more like water-based ship-to-ship combat than anything in space. But after a bit of familiarizing myself and allowing some concession to the game's top-down roots, I have to say it's rather good fun regardless. And you're giving so much freedom in constructing your ship how you see fit with any of the available weapons that you can change combat to your style. Do you fancy hanging back and picking off enemies with missiles and other more exotic long-range weapons? You can do that. Or beef up your shields, cover yourself in lasers and cannons and charge in, guns blazing, or anywhere in between. It really is fantastic. There are screens worth of setting with which you can tinker the sandbox to your liking. The game has so much to do that any high-level description just doesn't do it justice. One highlight for me is the ship building, which allows you to customize your mothership with different submodules, wings, noses and engines in a grid-based layout. Similar to traditional roguelike loot, the modules are procedurally generated, with each component of the same type and family of module having the same base stats. Different layouts and module choices change the combat style completely, making it easy to change your game if you start to get bored with a certain playstyle. Another highlight is actually a bit of a gimmick. The ability to pilot any of your ships at any time, leaving the others under AI control. If you're bored of controlling the all-powerful mothership, no problem, just jump into one of your fighters and enter the fray. However, Space Pirates and Zombies 2 does get very grindy, particularly in campaign mode where feature availability depends on your story and level progression, but normally you can find things to do if you start to get bored. Space Pirates and Zombies 2 has AAA level production values. The graphics and sound are both superb. The tactical map graphics are clean and precise, with little animations giving life to what might otherwise have started to look rather bland as you stare at it from hours on end. While the 3D combat graphics are very nice indeed, with each of different ship modules looking distinctive, and weapon effects creating big, bold and colorful display of awesome power. Multi-combat battles are even more impressive, with a handful of motherships all maneuvering around space for position, and unleashing depth while their fighter escorts dart around them, smaller guns blazing. The interface is polished and easy to use for the most part. Sound effects are great, with weapon and ship sounds all fitting together perfectly. The music is typical for a genre, dramatic orchestral pieces, something like in Star Wars and countless other space operas. And by that I mean both are very well produced. The voice acting is exceptional, the actors really get into character. Well, and the script is kinda funny with very few grammar errors. The developers have also kept the early access placeholder voices as an option, some of which are also rather good, in a different way. Actually get a lot for your money here. A breathing, living universe with a really nice programmed AI that is not player-centric but follows its own goals. Nice graphics, good voice acting, fun gameplay with instant combat action, a feeling of constant progression, sandbox mode, economical system with plenty of parts and loot, awesome customization, and I mean fully customizable ship system. The developers managed to deliver a believable space world around a resource res. Exploration and interaction with the different factions were actually enjoyable. The power balance between them can be influenced and shifted by your actions. If you're a fan of arcade-like space shooters, then you will really enjoy this game. I have fully enjoyed the time I have spent on board with a Clockwork crew. So yeah, I definitely recommend to check this game out. Okay, this is your boy Mrteamguy with another episode of Gaming Spotlight. Just want to say thanks for watching and have a nice day.